So this lovely harp is called a County Kerry harp, and it's made by Jeffrey Gaynor. He has Noteworthy woodworking, um, and he makes different sizes of harps. There's a 22 County Clare, there's a 24 low C to high E, which is the Kerry, and then there's a Cork, which is a 26 string. I think it goes lower than C, and then there's a County Mayo, which looks a lot like an old Clark harp. And then there's a County Wexford, which is humongous. It wouldn't fit in this video. It's too big. But this harp's just the perfect size. I carry it on my bike. You know, it comes in a little case that his wife Cindy made, and it's got little, like a little strap, like a carry handle, but it fits over your shoulder, and it's it's like sliced bread. It's the greatest little harp. I got this harp, gosh, I don't know, 9, 10 years ago maybe, and it was the second harp I ever got, and I wasn't so sure about it when I had it because I don't think it had been played much. I have no idea. Had CNF levers, and instead of having it sent directly to me, I had it sent directly to Jeffrey, and he put all the full levers on there. And when I first played it, there were a couple things I noticed. Was one, the sound sounded kind of thin, and a little plinky on the top, and a little muffled down here maybe. And most notably, the string spacing was very narrow, and I hadn't had a lot of experience with different harps. I'd only had one harp before that, and it just was narrower than that. It took a while to get used to. So I wasn't sure I wanted to keep it, but I did, and I'm so glad I did. Let me tell you, this harp has developed. It's got a solid spruce, I think. What do they call it kind of spruce? It's a Sitka spruce, I think. Soundboard, and this harp, the sound has developed over time beautifully. So what used to be plinky is now very resonant. What used to sound a little more muffled, I just learned to kind of pluck a little lower in the string. And with the narrow string spacing, it just took time to get used to it. Simple as that. You just need to practice. And here's what's tricky about it maybe is that it's equal string spacing top to bottom. So I think it's at the 1/2 inch. So as you go down here, the strings get thicker because they're wound. There's 4 wound strings right there. And so therefore the space between the strings gets a little narrower. And also they're vibrating, like a little more widely. And that's kind of with any harp really, but some harp makers compensate for that by doing what's called graduated string spacing. So they would have wider down here and gradually get narrower to the top. What's nice about the equal is that you always have your octave consistent, wherever you are, you can just, basically kind of feel that same, distance. Again, graduated isn't too hard to, get used to either. But this harp was and is very exacting to play. But once you get it, it's great. I love this harp. I play it all the time. And I'm so happy to have it, and a lot of sentimental value into it. So what I've just told you were not criticisms. It's just sort of what I feel were sort of characteristics of the harp when I first got it, and how I sort of took time to get used to. So, but I'm glad I took the time. And I'll tell you, if you can play well on a harp with narrower spacing that has very little wiggle room for error, especially in the lower end, there's potential for string buzzes. You can play any harp. That when you go back to your wider spaced harps, if you had any issues with those, you won't have those issues anymore. Problem solved. So, and the other thing too, like I was saying, you can ride around your bike with it. It's not very heavy, and it's got the potential to have a lot of resonance and projection. It's got a very mellow, warm sound, good resonance, good sustain, beautifully made, just impeccably made. I mean, just perfect. It's a perfect instrument. This is cherry, and this is also darkened over time. Has a little kind of a lighter stripe here. Stay lighter. I just love this harp. Um, don't be panicky about. You don't need surgical, you know, calipers or whatever they call to change the strings. It's easy. You just feed it through the top and poke it through the. You know, the little end comes through the bottom. You tie the knot and pull it back through. Not a big deal at all. One thing you've got in terms of ergonomics of this harp, again, a little tricky. When I play it, I kind of feel that these strings are sort of behind me more, so I might be kind of looking behind me, and so you just have to find a comfortable position to adjust the harp so that you can, you know, kind of see those strings and, you know, um, get back there without feeling like you're twisting your head or anything. It's a compromise a little bit, but I try to get middle C at about eye level, so then the lower octave is there. You could hold it a little lower, and then you could kind of see these a little bit, but I'd rather actually kind of keep that C where, you know, eyeball level, and then have look back a little bit. You can even move your head back, or you can tilt the harp. I've seen someone tilt the harp this way a little bit more, you know, this kind of thing. I'm using a, what is it called, a kitchen shelf liner. That's a gripper. You don't want to leave this in the case because it'll eat the finish off your instruments. But when you're playing, it won't eat it off, you know, during the course of playing. And you just put it, you know, you just kind of straddle it a little bit between your knees, and the harp stays pretty well put. I generally try to test and move it around and see. You cannot cover any of these holes. So if you can see, there's a hole here, here, and there, and there's a hole in the bottom. You cannot cover any of them. It will sound very muffled. So that might have been part of the issue too when I first got it. Let me play. I was, you know, I see these review videos and I think, just play the harp for crying out loud. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a sample. Here we go. After a while, you run out of notes. I've only got so many notes. I've never done that piece. And then you have to go all the way back down. And it goes, you go, as far as I'm going tonight. Anyway, thanks for listening. This is a County Kerry harp.